Heather Bro had been a mother for barely a year when the nights began to change. At first, it was just sounds, small ones. A soft creak in the hallway, a faint thud against the wall, the kind of noises every house makes if you listen long enough. The kind you dismiss because you have to. She lived with her fiancé Joshua and their 1-year-old daughter Lily in a quiet guest house in Highland, Michigan. It was peaceful, almost too peaceful, the kind of place where nothing ever happens, until something does. One morning, Heather leaned over Lily's crib and felt her stomach drop. Thin red scratches ran across her baby's tiny cheek. At first, she told herself it was nothing. Babies scratch themselves. It happens. She trimmed Lily's nails. She made sure her hands were covered at night. But the scratches came back, again and again, each time healed, each time replaced by new ones. And the noises at night, they were getting louder. Heather began waking up between 2 and 3 a.m., her heart racing for no reason. Sometimes she thought she heard footsteps, sometimes a door shifting. Once, she could have sworn she heard a low male voice in the distance, angry, frustrated, like someone had stubbed their toe in another room. But Joshua was always asleep beside her, always. That's when doubt crept in. Was it him? She hated herself for even thinking it, but fear makes you question everything. She asked him directly. He looked hurt, confused. He swore he wasn't moving around at night, and she knew she wasn't. So who was? The idea she tried hardest to avoid began to take shape. What if someone else was inside the house? Heather refused to let her mind say the word. Instead, she bought a high-end baby monitor with night vision, a Logitech Circle, 2 camera. If something was happening in that room, she would see it. The next morning, Lily had fresh scratches again. Heather didn't breathe while opening the footage. At first, nothing unusual. Then, at 3:12 a.m., something shifted in the frame. A shape, tall, humanoid, moving. It didn't walk. It glided. The night vision caught a translucent figure crossing the room. Not solid, not clear, but undeniably there. Heather rewound it, watched again and again. As the figure passed the crib, Lily turned her head, like she felt it. Then the figure stopped, and slowly, it looked directly at the camera. Heather felt ice spread through her chest. This wasn't distortion. This wasn't light. This was something inside her daughter's room at 3 a.m. And whatever it was, it knew it was being watched. When Joshua saw the footage, the color drained from his face. He didn't laugh. He didn't rationalize it. He just stared. "It's chilling," he later said. That what-if factor, what did we just see? They didn't sleep that night, or the next. The idea that something might be sharing their home, standing beside their child's crib while they slept only feet away, became unbearable. And then Heather remembered something she had buried deep in her mind. One morning months earlier, she had woken up unable to breathe, not groggy, not dreaming. She had felt pressure on her throat, like hands. She had never told Joshua. She had convinced herself it was sleep paralysis, stress, imagination. Now she wasn't so sure. They called the police. The police referred them elsewhere. Soon, paranormal investigators filled the guest house with equipment recorders, sensors, infrared cameras. They listened, they waited, and according to them, they heard something. A voice, clear, male. Oh, here we go. Plain as day. The investigators believed something was there, but not everyone did. Skeptics online slowed the footage frame by frame. One investigator pointed out that the ghost cast a shadow, something only solid objects do. He suggested it could be camera distortion, long exposure blur, even someone walking through the room while the footage lagged. And then he found something else. A GoFundMe page. Heather and Joshua were raising money to move out. To some, that was proof of fear. To others, it was proof of motive. Was this a desperate family trying to escape something terrifying? Or a couple overwhelmed by viral attention and suspicion? Heather never responded to the skeptics' request for extended footage. Maybe she was hiding something. Or maybe she was simply exhausted. Today, they still live there. Still hearing things. Still seeing scratches appear. Ghost or glitch, spirit or shadow. One thing is certain, something changed in that house the moment the camera started recording. And sometimes, the scariest part isn't what you see. It's what you can't explain.